right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever we are at. How are we all doing? Welcome to another live stream. This is my third live stream with Chart Fanatics. Let's just wait for more people to join. Get this party started. I believe Sanj should be joining us later as well. But that's always good. Make sure you stick around. But yeah, let's wait a couple seconds. Hello, Abdullah. How are we all doing? What's up, Glass Bear? How are you? I'm doing good, I'm doing good, thank you. What about yourself? The markets does not look... Check what the markets are saying. CPI has just started. See what data there is on that. Stayed the same. Not much has changed. But hopefully, we break out of this range. Let me just... Hello, Abit. I don't know if I pronounced that right. How are we doing? Enjoying your live streams. Are you thinking of streaming on your own channel any? Tuesday and Thursdays. So probably tomorrow I'll plan to stream. Chris McDaniel, hello. Sahib, no, it's not my first time. It's my third time. So 1, 2, 3. I've had 2 streams previously. Last week. So make sure you watch those, right? One was on Wednesday and one was on Thursday. CPI was in line with expectations. Rate hike chances have decreased by over 10%. Good to know. Good to know. I'm just waiting, to be honest, I'm just waiting for us to break out of this range on NQ. What type of trader am I? I am a scalper. But I do swing trade as well. But I mainly scalp. You know, New York AM session, NQ is my bread and butter. Hello, Abdul. Pakistan, nice. Right, let's see what the market has to provide us today. Hello, Ahat. Don't know if I pronounced that right. Ahat WGL. Do I have my own channel? Yes, I do. I do have it. But I am also active in the Discord as well. I have my own Discord channel in Chart Fanatics, so make sure you keep an eye out on that as well. No, it's not my first time. It's my third time. I should be... my first time was last Wednesday. I do plan to regularly live stream on Chart Fanatics every single week on Wednesday. If schedule holds. If schedules holds. Then that is the plan. Let's just post this on the Instagram story. Bullish or bearish? Wow. Very straightforward question. Right now, let me check. Let me share my screen. Check if the screen is sharing. All right, cool. So right now, this is currently what I am seeing. Obviously, this is my volume profile. If you don't know what volume profile is, it just shows you how many transactions were facilitated at each individual level, right? The longer the bar, the more volume was facilitated, the more balanced we are within that level. How do you approach the market after major news events? I don't really have a specific approach to post news or post major news events. I just stick to the same framework. Mentally is the same. Not much changes. That's why I only like to wait after post news to trade anything. I don't like to trade anything before news. What assets do I trade? I trade NQ. Do you really believe that order flow gives more accurate signals than bar candles? Yes, it does, but how the candle reacts is the result of order flow. So it's not, don't think of it as like a holy grail. Welcome to Chart Fanatics, and I'll see your channel on CF. Do you post your trade analysis there? On my Discord channel in CF, I don't think I will. That'll mainly be for the live stream, so make sure you watch the live streams. Yeah, so as I was saying, this is how I currently view the markets. This is regular trading hours. If I change this to extended trading hours, bear with me. Right, let's change this to UTC. Could you talk more about swing trading? Yeah, I will later on in the stream. But this is what I currently see, right? Like, we're still playing within Tuesday's value area. So this is going to be a very consolidated range. Not only that, but it's also overlapping with this balanced range over here. Right? As I mentioned last week, when price comes into this balanced range, you're going to get balanced price action. The market is extremely fair here. The market doesn't really have any clear direction to move in at the moment. So it's pretty two-sided. So as long as we are still playing within this range and we are playing within this range over here, I don't really have a set narrative for the day, because the market is just going to be bouncing within this range until we break above and obviously find acceptance higher, right? In the long run, I am bullish. The reason why I am bullish is because you had a balanced range over here. We came down, sellers failed to find acceptance, and you get responsive buying at the lows here. The responsive buying is at the low, initiation higher, and this is now creating a new balanced range. So sellers have tried to bring price lower already, but they get rejected, right? If you look at it from like a price action standpoint, this is also a V-shaped recovery. So I am leaning bullish on the macro perspective. Hello from Bangladesh. Now, Cryptev. How can I find out which one is bearish and bullish? It's not an indicator. It's the volume profile. Right. So my plan going into today is we obviously have this naked value area high, and we have this value area low over here. If we once we come into this level and we start to find some rejection, then I'm looking to go short. Right. If we break above and we're finding acceptance, I'm looking for the retest to continue higher. Abraham Perez. Who the hell is Abraham Perez? Is that someone on Chart Fanatics? It's a boxer. Why is the value area high naked when we have some price movement here? Are you talking about Tuesday's value area high? This one? Tuesday's value area high. Sorry, did I say naked? Yeah, I didn't mean naked. But this is the level we're still playing at. Like, yeah, it's not naked, but it's the level we're still playing at. Like, that's still the range. So as long as we are still within this range, and I'm looking for balanced prices. He is the GOAT of trading. He was here with us on Chart Fanatics. That guy was a real trader. Yeah, unfortunately I haven't come across him yet. Maybe I should watch a video. Naked just means zero price action. Yeah, so naked just means, right, like when you have a level that just doesn't get retested, like let's say you get whatever level here is naked because it hasn't been retested. Only one-sided price action was auctioned there. So that's what I currently see on extended trading hours. If I go back to, you know, regular trading hours now, this is naked. Right, but as you can see, where we are currently playing at right now is at 29937. So we're just about touching that anyway. So it's no longer naked. So yeah, this becomes a key level. Like 29963, right? 29963 to 30k is going to be a key level. We either get a reaction away from that, or we get a break and a retest. That is the main thing. Let's look at H1 now. Right, this is currently what we're getting on H1. So buyers are still heavily bullish at the moment. Buyers are clearly in control. When you're looking at the delta profile, each bar, each level is going to represent the difference between aggressive buyers and aggressive sellers. So when you have large negative delta over here, that means aggressive sellers were in control at this level. And if they don't get rewarded with lower price action, that is your absorption. That means there is more buying supply than aggressive selling demand. And as a result, they were unable to move lower. And, you know, buying initiation steps in. This is where you get the strongest bullish confirmation. So right now on a H1, we're still pretty bullish. The asset is NQ. NQ is the asset. We're approaching Monday's highs as well. Good morning, Bobby. Why am I looking at the 12-minute? It's just old habits. Right, I used to be a price action trader, and I obviously had an intermediate time frame, which usually is going to be the 50-minute for a lot of you. But I just seen that the 12-minute works a bit better. It's more refined, especially when I was trading swing failure patterns. So when you have like let me find an example, right? Like let's say you have swing failure pattern where a swing high gets taken out and the candle's body closes back inside the range. On the M12, from what I've seen, it tends to happen a lot better. So that was my reason for using it on the price action chart. And then now that I've switched to order flow since last year, I've just stuck with it. Provides me some good refinements. I wish I had like an actual theory behind it for you guys, but I don't really have any. I've just, from what I've been testing, from my data, it's just worked better. Are we ready to kick this market's ass? Hopefully. Market hasn't been the best these past couple of days. And I know the markets have been kicking a lot of your asses. Deep charts, no, this is exo charts. Deep charts is good though, and you do get 30% off if you sign up and use the code CF. So let's just wait. I don't really have in terms of narrative, like I said, I am leaning bullish. I am leaning bullish. I marked up my key levels. Like I said, it's going to be where we're playing at right now. 29,977, 30k. So those are my key levels to look at. Right. But for now, gonna wait for New York Bell to provide a better context. You don't always have to have a context straight away, right? This is the key lesson for a lot of you. Sometimes when you just don't really like, when it's a bit difficult to read, you just wait. Just wait for more candles to print. That's the easiest thing you could do. Yeah, you had to chill after that 4% move. You're talking about CPI? Was that a 4% move? I was like under 1%. Am I seeing the same thing? Let me reiterate, you have very clear explanation when talking about order flow. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. I try my best. Right, I just want to help you guys. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll try to explain it as best as I can. Oh, like 1 week ago. Oh yeah. Yeah, that was a crazy move. Yeah, but that's what the market does, right? Anytime you have a large expansion, like here, the 4% move, you're going to consolidate. The market can't expand forever. It's literally impossible. Do you use Gamma, and what site do you read information? I used to look at it. Right, I used to look at Gamma regimes, Gamma exposure levels, but then now it's I realized it doesn't really make a difference to my trading. So I kind of just stopped using it. Right. Like the way I trade, I like to trade very simple. I hate overcomplicating stuff. I hate adding stuff to my charts. I literally only trade volume profile to build narrative, H1, M12 for delta profiles to build, the short-term narrative. And then this is the main execution time frame. Right, this is the main thing I look at. It's not even a time frame, it's the range chart. But this is the main thing I look at. Trading is already difficult in itself, so you don't have to overcomplicate it where you don't have to. Just paste this in. What time frame do you take your trades? 80 range. I'm mainly on the 80 range. If I'm swing trading, then it'll be like 4 hour, anywhere from 4 hour to 12 hour. But when I'm scalping, I'm just using the 80 range. I don't like to use 1, 2, 3 minutes. It's not that I don't like it. It's just that I found better results with the 80 range. I learned to just behave as though I am a psychologist and listen clearly to the markets before I respond to a trade. Yeah, that's good. Like with trading, you never want to guess. You never want to predict. You always just want to react. Did it take long for me to get used to reading order flow when you went from ordinary candlesticks? Not that long. If you want like a definite time frame, maybe like a month. A month to get all the basics down, and then from there, it's just constant learning. Like even now, I'm learning. I'm learning new things every day in the markets, in terms of price action, in terms of the different order flow setups that occur. Right, but the basics of order flow, the basics of the volume profile, TPO, auction market theory, it'll take under a month to really wrap your head around it. If you grind it, probably under a week. But yeah, let's get marking these levels. So this chart isn't moving because it's the CME regular trading hours. So it only starts moving at 9:30. I don't really like to take into account extended trading hours or pre-session levels at the moment. That's something I'm testing out. But yeah, let's start marking out these levels. Hello, Tiger Trades. How are we doing? Right. So the key levels I always want to mark out is going to be the prior session value area and any naked value area highs or naked value area lows. Low volume nodes I don't really look at. I just use them for targets. In this instance, because we are still playing within like the overall range on Tuesday's value area, I would also mark out that level. Let me start marking this out. Good morning, Talha. Fine, tested a new chop strategy and it worked. Very good to hear. Amazing stuff. 29957. And then you have a naked value area low at 29474. Right, so this yellow line is just from Tuesday's value area. Right, last Tuesday's value area, that's what we're consolidating in at the moment. But I still want to take into account 29583. Um, 29740. And then volume point of control at 29635. Right, and that is the previous day's value area. Simple as that. Previous day's value area, volume point of control, and this is the overall range we are playing in on Tuesday. Let's lock all of this. All right, because this is the CME chart, the regular trading hours chart, we should get a massive gap for like the upside or something. See where we're currently playing at. 29972. So there should be a massive gap up to around here. Right? Just at our Tuesday's value area high. So now the question becomes, it's easier for us to just wait for the open. Hello chat, happy Wednesday. Yes, it is Wednesday. August is nearly over. Halfway through August. Hopefully it goes over quick. I don't do live. With Chart Fanatics, I only do live once a week on Wednesday. But I am planning to go live on my own channel. Tuesday, Thursday. What's the hurry for the months to be over? Summer price action. Summer PA. Volatility volume tends to die down. As you've seen from the start of this month. Apart from Monday and Tuesday. Right, after Tuesday the 4th, we've just been in this range. Also, it sucks. It genuinely sucks trading in August. Especially when I live in London and you don't get any sun until like 3-4 weeks of the year. Tends to land in August. It sucks trading when you're inside. And it's just bright and sunny outside. Morning, good. Right, let's see how the market opens. Should open in about 2 minutes. Big money are on vacation at Hampton. Pretty much. Us retail are still here grinding our ass off. Just me and you guys. Just me and you guys. We're all in this together. Good afternoon from Essex. Nice. Essex is probably like 1 hour away from me. Am I taking NQ? Yes, I am. I mainly focus on NQ. Sometimes I look at ES as well. If we are in like a really tight consolidation, ES tends to play in a balanced range better for rotational plays. But I still always prefer NQ. UT. What is T? What is T, my friend? Did I take the short yesterday? Oh yeah, let me recap yesterday. So this was yesterday's price action. This short I missed. I missed this because after 4 p.m. my time, which is 11 a.m. New York time, right? I just went off the charts. Right? I did take longs though. I took longs from the bottom here. No, not from that bottom. We had a value area low here. Break retest. I took a long here. Right? Took a long here. And then I was targeting somewhere around here, I believe. Right, this was the trade I took yesterday. For longs. But apart from that, there wasn't much opportunities, because when we came into this level, that was where we were overlapping with the previous day's volume point of control. And you know, I was sitting through this for like 30-40 minutes, taking nothing. So after that, I just called it a day. I didn't expect this large down move. But yeah, so market is open now. But yeah, like if I was actually on the charts, my entry would have probably been somewhere around here. Yeah, I mean, yesterday was a really choppy day. Like after I got out for my 2-3R, I was done for the day. Done for the day. We took the same setup and I missed the short also. Yeah. All right, let's see the market open. All right, so this is the market open. Currently opened above Tuesday's range. which is the level I'm looking at for us to break above the range. So this is the range high on a higher time frame. What we get? Let's see what we get. The question becomes whether sellers get absorbed here and we bounce higher to find acceptance, or we break below, retest this level, buy is absorbed, and then you can look to just play back within the range. That's going to be the rotational play. What's your strategy taking trades? Scalping or waiting for trades to hit your setup? I've like two different answers, but waiting for the trade to hit your setup. Regardless if you're scalping, regardless of your intraday, swing trading, whatever, right? You don't take a trade until it hits your setup. So don't get those definitions mixed up. Even when I'm scalping, I have key levels, right? For example, here. I'm not instantly taking, like, if I see this dump lower, I'm not instantly going into a short. I'm still waiting for it to hit my levels of interest. Unless it's in an imbalanced state of delivery. Then it's a bit different. Oh no, I don't chase trades. If the trade's gone, right? Like, let's say I wanted to go short somewhere above here, right? But I missed that entry and it comes down to this level. I'm not going to chase it. I would have to wait for it to come back up and give me another setup. Never chase trades, guys. Never chase it. There's millions of opportunities within the market. Chasing trades is the last thing you want to do. All right, so this is going to be key level. Let's see if we could start to find some sort of a bottom here, and then that would be another key level for me. Yeah, literally. When you chase the market, it runs away with your money. It literally runs away with the money. You want the market to come to you. You don't want to go to the market. Like, you're better off giving me your money. Right. If we could start to form some form of a bottom here, then this would be my balance range. What is gamma in deep charts, and do we really need to use gamma? You do not need to use it, but it depends. Like, for a lot of people, it's a useful tool. It's just something you have to test out for yourself. I tested it for my strategy, but it doesn't really have much of an effect or much of a difference with my strategy. Anytime we have a battle of order here, this is going to be a key level. Right? If you get a battle of order and you get a reaction away, that means whoever was battling here, they clearly won this battle, and this becomes your support level. Is Usman going to be live here today? I'm not sure. I don't think so. Sanj will be though. I think Sanj is coming later on. Not sure about Usman. All right, you see how we're starting to find a bottom here? This means clearly there is some passive buying presence here, right? Now we're broken below. So battle of orders, broken below. That means aggressive selling demand has dominated any passive buying participant here and any aggressive buying participants here. So now you want to see a follow through. Doesn't look like we got that. It looks like aggressive sellers still got absorbed here. By the way, the red bubbles are my aggressive sellings. Aggressive sell contracts. And the blue bubbles are aggressive buy contracts. I see other order flow users use heat map that shows passive buyers. Have you tried that? I have tried it. But then I realized the levels just aligned with what I look for anyway. Like there's always going to be liquidity at rounded levels, right? 29900s, 29925, 29950, 29975, 30k. There's always going to be key levels there. Liquidity there, right? Like even here, you don't need a heat map to tell you that at 29900s, there's passive liquidity. Maybe it's just me. Is it harder to see on the screen sharing? I can try. I have no idea. I tried resizing my window. I don't know if that helps. Right. Okay, it's better. Is that in Q? Yeah, this is NASDAQ. Right, so now we have this bottom here and we have this top above here. Anything in between is going to be low probability for me. Fair, so it's just clutter. In terms of heat maps, it is helpful. But I personally don't need it. Like, I can't speak for you. I can only speak on my experience. What time frame? This is the 80 range chart. So each candle isn't from the low to the high or the high to the low isn't going to close until it's moved 80 ticks. 4 ticks is 1 point, so 20 points. Hello, Salmia Doda. Main 6465. First time, welcome. Welcome to Chart Fanatics. Salmia. I don't know if I pronounced that right. What time frame are you looking? Yeah, as I mentioned, 80 range. Am I trading on deep charts? No, this is exo charts. But with deep charts, you do get 30% off with code CF. Am I looking for sells at the moment? I would be favoring sells once we've broken below this level. Let me just look at what the M12 is. Yeah, I mean, like we've had a large drop from New York Open, from New York Bell. So sells would look good if we break below this level, and then I will look for a break and retest. If we come up to this level and we break above this high over here, right, the range that I marked out, my key level, then sells are pretty much off the table for me. Not for the whole day, but in the meantime. Let's just see what price does over here. Volume profile. Right, like if you look at the volume profile, if you're wondering what my key level is, it's just the value area high, the naked value area high from Wednesday. Right, that's what we're currently reacting off of at the moment. Low volume nodes, value area is building lower. So this is already an early sign that we could potentially continue lower back inside the range, because we failed to have, we failed to find acceptance above the range high currently. But that's not to say it'll change later on in the session. For now, we failed to find acceptance. Right, if you're new here and you didn't watch my last week's stream, I have the 30-second time frame up on my left chart as well, just because Exo Charts has like a bug with it where it doesn't really show all the big trades properly on the range chart. So I have Exo Charts, the 30-second time frame on the left tab as well, just to confirm the big trades. Right, you can see here there's large aggressive big trades here, but it's not showing on the range chart. So that's why I also have this time frame or the secondary chart. So we're breaking lower now. If we get a break and retest, then I'll look to go short. And what I would look for is a proper break below, retest with aggressive buying stepping in, but they get absorbed. That's the main thing I'm looking for break and retest. If you don't get that, like if you just get a break, in these market conditions, I'm not going to take that break. Even if, for example, let's say this candle closes bearish and you have selling initiation here in the form of large red bubbles, I'm not going to take that, because of the conditions we are playing in currently. We have buying absorption here. However, the previous break wasn't, it's just a bit iffy. I do see this working out though. But ideally, I wanted to see this candle close with a bearish body rather than bullish. Let's see. We do have large aggressive selling. but they don't look like they're getting rewarded. Right. You look at my left chart, large aggressive 82 contract, but they don't get rewarded within this level. So passive buyers are still protecting this level over here, and there's a good chance we play back within the range. See what it does. I don't really want to long this either, back inside the range. Even though, mechanically speaking, if we fail to find acceptance below or above the range, you could look to long or short, respectively, back inside the range. But because of how bearish we are at the moment, from New York Open, New York Bell, it doesn't really look that good to me. There's no setup here anyway for me. Do I look at 75 as rewarded? This is really subjective. It really depends. Like, they did get rewarded. It depends. The reason why I say it's subjective is because it depends on the number of contracts as well. Like, if this was only 20 contracts or 30 contracts, then it's much more clearer to say that these that they got rewarded. But because it's a large selling contract, that, in my opinion, they're still trapped. No, I didn't enter the trade. If I enter trades, I'll show you a position tool and then I'll call it out before I even enter. But nothing here yet. Yeah, this is where experience comes into play. Like right now, because of how large these aggressive selling contracts are, you would expect a much deeper move lower. But we didn't get that, and price is moving upwards now. So whoever was here are now trapped. So theoretically, because they are trapped, this is where they're going to have their stop losses. And once we go higher, their stop losses are going to get triggered, and it's going to provide less selling supply into the market, and that's where you get that expansion higher. On trapped buyers, on trapped sellers. The buy stops from trap sellers will feel the move higher, if that's the case. Look at 2 cells of 50 each at the same time as 100 cell, the same level, or does one big one outweigh 2 smaller ones? It's the same. I view it as the same. It also depends on the platform you're using. Like, I know Atus, they have their big trades. There's the option to do cumulative, where, let's say you have 250 and then 255 just above. It would just combine it. But with extra charts, each of these are individual executions. So there's only one order here. It's not combined. But it's pretty much the same. I would use it as the same. Which indicators am I using? Yeah, so the left side is the cumulative profile for delta. Right side, cumulative profile for the volume profile. Delta is 30 minutes. Below, cumulative volume. Hold on. What did I say? Cumulative profile? Cumulative. I didn't say cumulative volume delta, right? Yeah, the bottom is CVD, cumulative volume delta. And then the bottom below that is footprint bar statistics. So this just tells me the volume delta max min for each candle. I don't really look at footprint bar statistics. I just have it on to look at it once in a while, and it looks kind of aesthetic. But I'm mainly looking at, you know, CVD and big trades. I don't look at anything else. Yeah, all my indicators. The main indicator is going to be big trades. Cumulative vol. Maybe I do have ADHD. I need to get tested for it. Cumulative volume delta, and what's the second? What did I say? I genuinely don't know what I said after cumulative volume delta. That's it. Okay, this is the delta profile. This is the cumulative delta profile. Cumulative. No, this is. Whoa, why do I keep saying cumulative? I meant composite. Sorry. This is the composite profile on the left for delta. And this is the composite profile for the volume profile. And then the bottom is the cumulative volume delta. And then the bottom below that is the footprint bar statistics. You have good eyes. I can barely see those small numbers. Dude, I don't even look at these numbers. It just looks cool. According to my doctor, we all have some kind of disorder. Yeah. If you pick trading as a profession, no offense, but you're definitely retarded. Like, we probably all are retarded. Dumb money makes money. You're glitching there for a bit. Yeah, I don't know why I said cumulative. Yeah, this is composite. You see how the longs didn't really play out? Like, sellers are just heavily dominant. But this will become key levels in the future. Let's see what we have. Large aggressive selling there. I was chasing the trades. Sometimes I make quick money, and when I lose big money. Yeah, I mean, dude, I told you, if you chase trades, you might as well donate money to me. Never chase trades, guys. In the long run, you're gonna lose. Like, okay, in the short run, you make some money, you make profit, makes you feel good, but it's a very bad habit to build. Extremely bad habit to build. Gonna go buy from here, but we have to wait for 1 hour closing. It does look good. I mean, it does look good for longs, especially if we break above this high at the moment. Long NQ. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Signals. RK Snipes giving us all signals. Wick down a little and then push up to NY open eye. Yeah, I think there's a good chance if we break above these resistance levels that we retest New York Open. But for now, like, in terms of my setup, there's nothing here for me at the moment. There's nothing high probability. The quicker it comes, the quicker it goes. The slower it comes, the longer it stays. Yeah, that is true. To an extent, that is true. I went from finding trades to finding complete scenarios. When I'm right, I milk them as much as possible. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Like, think of it. Every single trade you take, don't look at it from a trade by trade perspective. Look at it from a series of trade. This trade isn't going to... If I take a trade right now, it's not going to define me. It's not going to change the trajectory of my trading or of my trading career. Right? Because I still have the whole day. I still have the whole week. I still have the whole month. So always look at it from a series of trade perspective rather than a trade by trade basis. Have I set up the trade yet? No, not yet. Nothing for me yet. If you're looking at M12, especially if we find acceptance above this yellow key level at the moment. Oh, why is this not working? Okay, there we go. This is what you see on M12. Let me reload that. Obviously, we had a bearish candle closure. But these large negative delta did not get rewarded with lower price action. Right? These guys didn't get rewarded, so passive buyers are protecting this level. And then you have buying initiation stepping in the form of large positive delta. So aggressive buyers are now in control. The delta is just a difference between aggressive buyers and aggressive sellers. If it's red, aggressive sellers are in control. If it's green, aggressive buyers are in control. Aggressive participants are those with market execution. They are market takers. They are the ones that are moving the market and providing demand to the market. Passive is your supply. And that's where you get a reaction. Nothing is random. The indicator I just showed you is delta cluster, delta profile, yeah. Bro, look at the body of this compared to the key level I drew. Low key a wizard. It's almost like I trade for a living. How many people on stream right now? 85. If we all chipped in money, I could buy access to Trump tweets, and then I'll share it with you guys. No, I don't look at gamma exposure levels. Still lose to the best. Okay. Yeah, dude, like the market will always win in the end. You always have to refine your edge. You always have to switch things up. Right, look at our reaction. Lovely reaction from the key level. Where am I from? I am from London. London, UK, United Kingdom. Post CPI price action. Right, this long move was just, you know, a 90, 80 points, 70 points. I'm in near to White House, USA. Oh, you're near the White House? That's pretty cool. I'm still yet to go to USA. I'm still planning a trip to go to America. Let me know your recommendations, guys, and how long I should go for. Your level also matches up with major 4-hour level resistance. Yeah, I mean, this level was just a value area high, so it's to be expected. The key level is Tuesday's value area high, right? This one right here. Tuesday's value area high. The value area represents 70% of total transactions facilitated. So this is my most balanced range, which would make the value area high and value area low protective levels, right? Passive sellers are going to try and protect the value area high. Passive buyers are going to try and protect the value area low, because the market always wants to facilitate in fair value. So that's why I have that as my key level. That's the theory behind it. Ever thought of moving to Dubai? No taxes. A lot of traders moving there. Dubai is nice. Dubai is nice. I fly Qatar Airways a lot as well, and it's absolutely amazing. You know, transiting at Qatar, customer service is extremely good. Everyone is just friendly. So I have thought about it. But London, I can't beat London. Maybe taxes you can beat London, but London is great. You get 4 seasons of the year. I'm close to everything. But yeah, I have thought about it. White House is 40 minutes away. Oh, so you're not that near. Can you tell us when they start ordering pizzas? That's a good one. That's a good one, yeah. Just stay away from California. Is Bay Area in California? Because I want to go Bay Area. It is. What? Yeah, I mean, I'm planning to go to New York first, and then I'll see. probably buying a one-way ticket and see how long I stay for. Right. You see, we're just playing within this range at the moment. You're not getting large expansions. On like the only expansion, the only good trade you potentially could have gotten is this one over here to this high. But apart from that, there hasn't been the expansion legs are very limited, very suppressed. Yeah, San Francisco. I also like hiking, you know, places with tall trees and mountains. If someone's selling Hieu confidence for executions, I'm willing to buy that. Please, my trades play, but why the fuck would I not press the button? Honestly, dude, I have no idea what you just said. Trying to process it. All right, let's see what we get. I want to see a break and retest. Break and retest, guys. Break and retest, and we go short, retest, continue lower. Simple. What M12 is saying. Yeah, longs don't really look good at the moment. He wants to be confident since his trades are good, but he doesn't press the button. That is going to be a money issue. That is going to be a psychological issue regarding your account balance and regarding the fact that you don't want to lose money. So what I would do is it depends on what you're trading, right? If you're trading prop firms, just lower the risk. If you're trading a live account, lower the risk as well. Just lower the risk until you gain more confidence. Lower the risk until it doesn't really affect you anymore. Put in the reps, gain more confidence with it, because clearly you're not as confident in your trade. Otherwise, you would have executed. You know, that's the honest truth. If you was truly confident in your trades, then you would have no problem executing. What we get? This would have been nice. If it comes back, I'll enter. If it comes back. Like, this is an example, right? Well, I'm not chasing price. Just seeing this happen now. If it comes back to my entry around 29900, then I'll look to enter again. But now, by the time you enter here, like, just not good. Not great. Alright, gonna enter here. Looking for just a one-to-one on prop firms, entering on personal as well. Personals, I'm aiming, so 2 positions I entered here. Personal, I'm aiming for the high. Prop firms, I'm aiming for one-to-one. Obviously, the ideal entry would have been below here, but we had this absorption here. So let's see what price does. Sellers, I'm still favoring shorts. Just looking to play a quick reaction from the lows of the range low. What we get. These buyers are struggling at the moment. The next candle would have to close bullish. Otherwise, we're kind of cooked. Currently, I'm in a long, looking to just play this quick reaction. But overall, I'm still short at the moment. I'm still favoring shorts. This is the 80 range. Yeah, I mean, ideally, this isn't the best entry I would have liked. A better entry would have been below here. But it's just that we didn't get absorption until the next candle. So I would have to wait for the secondary candle to show initiation. Doesn't look like it's going to hit though. Sellers are getting absorbed here, but I think they're going to follow through. Right, that's out. -1 now. Let's see what we get next. Let me keep out a chat. Bro, I lost a shit amount of money, like real money, then I made my shot enough to be good in it. Now I just have to, yeah. I mean, just reduce your risk, honestly. Just reduce your risk. One minute time frame. No, this is the 80 range chart. So the candle doesn't close until the low and the high is 20 points. Yeah, I mean, it was a good area to look for reactions, and we did get a reaction. It's just that I think sellers are much more dominant at the moment. Right, like ideally this level, this short level should hold for lower price action. Yeah, dude. It's all about trading. Is all about putting in the reps. It's literally all about putting in the reps. If you could put in the reps by reducing your risk and just spamming trades, that is the best way. It's really hard to put in reps when you're putting on like position size that is going to affect your psychology. You don't want to do that. I think someone said we had red folder in 25 minutes. Something about crude oil, if I'm not mistaken. I don't see it on Forex Factory though. You see, yeah, like longs, I'm no longer interested in longs. Let's see how this M12 kind of closes. Currently what I'm seeing on M12. Right. 30 seconds till closure. I wouldn't take this long here, only because of how we're closing on M12 at the moment. Favoring a break and retest still. Right. Favoring a break and retest to yesterday's value area high. Ideal trade for me. Yeah, I mean, I used to trade like a lot. I used to genuinely take 6 to 10 trades a day. But that has to be in good market conditions. Like when you have conditions like this, it's not the best. I want to be stress free and just take 1 or 2 trades, be done for the day. But yeah. Listen, if you take more trades, you also expose yourself to more risk. Right? So it's pretty much like a double-edged sword. Add up to 100 small trades a day. It's just so, yeah. I've seen so many people do that on Twitter. It's actually kind of insane. But I'd assume like most of it is just, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm not wrong, most of it is just like off of a small number of trade ideas. But a large number of trades come in from scaling in and scaling out. Oh, 600 green. Now I'm 400 down. Range is killing me. Damn, bro. What trades did you take? Yeah, this is why like the framework I trade, I think is really good. It keeps you out of a lot of low probability conditions. Like here, you clearly identify range high, clearly identify range low, and obviously you have internal levels which you can play. But anything in between, the market is going to be choppy, right? Anything in between, the market is going to be low probability. So trading isn't, being a successful trader isn't just about being good with winning trades. You also have to be good with staying out of losing trades or low probability trades. That's why having a good framework is important. We are in positive gamma regime, so price will be choppy. Yeah. I mean, there's also post CPI as well. Right, post CPI, and we're playing within. Right, if we are playing within this yellow line and this yellow line above, the market is going to be choppy on the higher time frame, regardless. Right, because on the higher time frame, this is what it is. It's just overlapping Tuesday's value area. Anytime we come below, they reject. Anytime we come above, they reject. Let me just reload this chart so it's a bit clearer. This is the main thing I look for all the time. I'm just looking whether we can find acceptance at key levels or not. If we can't find acceptance, then that is why you would be favoring rejections to the downside in this specific example. We come above of our overall balanced range and we print with a low volume node, which means the market had very little interest above this level, above the value area high. The reason being is because, they couldn't find acceptance. So very little two-sided price action happened there. Very little auction happened there. low volume node, and where the value was actually being built is below, right? With this current market profile. Of course, that could still change. Like we can still come up and then start to build value above before the session ends. But for now, this is what you're seeing. So you don't want to predict. You always want to just react to what you're currently seeing.
Yo.
Oh, hello, Sam.
Sorry, man. Came in, interrupted your chat. How's it going, bro?
It's all good. Yeah, I'm doing good, thank you. What about yourself?
I'm all good, man. I'm all good. It's a pleasure to finally meet you, man. I've caught a few snippets of your last couple of streams and stuff. It looks like you're doing well, man.
Yeah, I mean, chart's been great. I mean, yeah, the chat has been great. In terms of price action, can't say the same about it. Yeah. But, you know, it is what it is. It's to be expected, right? I think
CPI day, right?
Yeah, post CPI, August, we're playing within a fat range during NQ, you know, it's to be expected. I'm sure everyone's feeling the same way.
Fair. How long have you been trading, man?
I've been trading for 4.5 years. So since I was, so I touched on trading during, you know, all the GameStop stuff, GameStop Doge during COVID lockdown when I was 17. And then I started looking into it properly when I was 18.
Nice.
And from it's just like 4 years of proper trading.
Nice. That's awesome, man. Yeah. How are you getting on today?
Down -1 now.
Okay.
Know? But let's see what we get for the rest of the session, right?
Yeah.
Yesterday was a pretty good day for me, to be honest. Monday was decent as well. So maybe today is probably going to be a negative day for the week, but we'll see, right? We still have the rest of the session to recover.
And I always say, as long as you've preserved capital in the right way, it's a winning day regardless of what the P&L says.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I said this to the chat as well, right? Like, your first job as a trader is to preserve capital, is to manage risk. Winning trades and making money comes afterwards.
Yeah.
Making money is just a byproduct of you protecting capital.
Yep. 100%. You know, it's one of those things, like, I feel like it's always easy to say, but actually applying it is always the difficult part for most people. Everyone's, you know, says, oh, you shouldn't revenge trade, you shouldn't do all this stupid shit, but most people are degenerates, man. I don't know how else to put it.
No, I definitely agree. Like, bro, I used to be a degenerate as well. I used to be a proper degenerate, but you know, over time, you start to just, I don't know. Like I've tried active things to try and fix it.
Yeah.
But I think over time having a good edge, having a working edge helps a lot. You know, having clear defined rules, that also helps a lot as well.
100%.
Yeah.
How long do you think it took you to actually like define your edge?
Like 3 years,
Wow.
2.5 to 3 years in terms of technicals. But of course, you know, you can have a working edge, but you could still mess up psychologically as well.
Of course.
So yeah. But
what's up, everyone? Sorry, I haven't even said hello to anyone in the chat yet. Hope you guys are all doing well. Sleeping Dolphin, this guy shows up everywhere. I think he was at the barbecue too. Anyone with a bald head and beard, I get confused with, basically. I think yesterday I was getting called Andrew Tate in the chat, which is a common one. I try and explain to people, though, if I shave my beard off, I just look like a thumb. So I kind of have to keep it, man. It's not a good look for me.
I mean, having a beard, I can't even grow a beard. You know, these Asian genes.
You can take the beard if you give me some hair. You know, we can swap out if you like. Oh, man.
You lose one, you gain the other.
That's it. This is literally it, man. What's up, Arhat? Appreciate it, man. When he says shining as always, I can only presume he means the head. But I'll take it. I'll take it. Good funded. Good morning. What's up, guys? Giorgio, my bro, how was your trading today? I have been flat all week. I have not taken a single trade. I've had a couple of orders in, just have not been filled. What's up, Ricky? Makelitsam. Sleeping Dolphin says Thumb would be a cool nickname. Bro, maybe we'll call you Thumb, right? And we'll see how that goes down.
No, I'm sure there's a lot of bold people in the chat.
There's definitely, I think it's
Secretly projecting.
100%. I think there's one of the guys that tunes in. I think his name's Eric. He's my bold brother. We've chopped it up before. We've exchanged some tips and everything, but there's a few in there today.
I don't think I've seen an Eric. Maybe he only pops up when you come up.
Maybe he's probably the only one I can resonate with. So he's here for moral support for me, man.
I don't know. You don't know, but he is psychologically testing me.
You don't know this? Oh, interesting. Maybe, I don't know. Thumb with hair, I'll take it. Bold and broke. Yeah, bro. I mean, in today's range, probably. Who knows?
In today's month, everyone's broke. Better off going on holiday.
Yeah, it's true. It's true, man. Hieu, where are you from, man?
I'm from London.
I was going to say, I feel like I recognize the accent. I was originally from London as well.
Oh, which parts?
West.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm from Southeast.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough. Yeah,
I have an accent. I can't tell.
I don't know. I think just London hears London. You kind of just hear it in other people, man. It just sounded like home to me. So yeah.
Are you still in London or?
No, so I moved away last year. I live a little bit more like of a nomad life now. Yeah. But I spend a lot of time in Bermuda, which is where I'm currently at the moment.
Honestly, my geography is not that good. I only know the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, you know what? I'll be honest with you, bro. That was all I knew of it before I moved here as well.
let me search. Where is this?
You're gonna be shocked when you see this. Yeah.
Little speck. It's a little speck in the North Atlantic Ocean. What is this?
Basically. Yeah, it's a tiny place. It's 20 miles wide. And it's got a population of 60,000.
Damn.
Yeah.
Is it? What is it? Is it like? Is it British territory?
It's a British overseas territory. So it's actually very some aspects are very, very similar to the UK. We got the post boxes, little things like that, man. The red post boxes.
What a sick.
Yeah, it's different, but it's very island life.
Yeah.
There's not. Yeah, a lot of sun. It's very tropical weather. But the only downside here, you get hurricane season here, which can be nasty. We had our first one last year, which was an interesting experience. You don't get a lot of that, obviously, in the UK. So yeah, it's interesting.
For sure,
yeah, for sure.
What made you move though?
My fiance, she got offered a job out here, so we were planning to leave the UK anyway. I originally wanted to go Thailand. We spent 6 months out there in 2023. And we decided that our life in the UK was done. Just didn't really like the vibe and energy. I decided it doesn't matter how much money you make, you can't buy better weather. So I was
literally,
I need a change. So we were originally going to go to Thailand, and then in the process of sort of packing up, getting ready to leave, she had this opportunity come out in Bermuda. So we were like, screw it, let's try it. I was like, basically all my work is done online between coaching and trading. So I was like, as long as I have internet out there, it's all good. So we liked it. We decided to try it for a year, ended up liking it. And so far it's been 18 odd months. So I kind of just bounce back and forth between Bermuda and London as we currently stand, man.
That's really nice.
It's definitely different, man. Ahat says, how's the weather here? How's the weather there? It's usually pretty pleasant. Today, I don't even have my phone on me, but it's warm most year round. Yes, it's not bad. Makelletsum says, wait, you're in Bermuda? Yes, currently in Bermuda. Beautiful beaches. Yeah, they're stunning out here, man. They are very, very beautiful. It's so tiny. I'm sure everyone knows each other. Yeah, so Makelletsum, I'll tell you a funny story, man. I met a cab driver out here a few months back, and he told me the story about how I think right now he's married to a girl from the Philippines, I think he said. And he had this hard rule that he would no longer date people in Bermuda because a couple of times he started to date someone and then realized he's distantly related. is not a vibe. So, but I mean, with 60,000 people, you know, how far can you really go? It's pretty crazy, man. Adil says the US is one of the few countries that tax income on citizenship and not residency. So no matter where I have to go, I have to pay income tax. Yeah, it's rough. That is rough.
That is rough, yeah.
I mean, Hieu, tax in the UK is not too much better.
It's not. I mean, I really like London, to be honest.
Is it?
Yeah, I like the weather. I like tomorrow it's gonna be 36 degrees. It's gonna be sunny. You can't. I say this to everyone, right? You can't beat summer in London. Honestly, you can't beat summer in London.
I give you that. Summer in London is definitely a vibe. The problem is you get like 10 good days of it a year. I know this year you had like an extreme heat wave, but otherwise it's tough going, man.
Yeah, I said it, I mentioned this to the chat like at the start of the stream, right? I don't really like trading in summer because it's sunny outside and you only get 2 weeks of it. After that, it's just going to be raining. It's going to be grey. It's not even like an extreme weather where you get tornadoes, hurricanes, you know?
Yeah.
It's just grey.
Yeah.
There's nothing about it.
It's true.
Update on this PA. If it comes to this low and I have selling absorption, potential long. Shorts, I'm not really favoring shorts anymore. Because if we got in shorts, then the market would have broken below this low by now. But cumulative volume delta is just flat. If you look at M12 is also just flat, right? Like in terms of these candles, you have negative delta clusters, which means any aggressive selling here have just been absorbed. At the highs, you don't get buying initiation either. So even though these guys are getting absorbed, you're not getting any follow through with aggressive buyers that is lifting the price action. So for now, I'm still flat. Probably would just play rotational plays within the range, but break and retest looks less likely now, right? So yeah, protect your capital. I
like that. To be honest, I mean, I presume you trade using order flow, it seems like, right?
Yeah, order flow, auction market theory.
Nice. Yeah, see, I'm one of the typical price action guys. But I would have a very similar outlook on this. Like looking at the market, how it is, the range plays seem the most sensible thing. Middle ground seems like a little bit of no man's land to me. Yeah, the range extremes seem like the value plays to me. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, how the price action and candlesticks form is just a result of order flow in my opinion. Yeah. So it's gonna be similar anyway. Like I came from price action as well. I used to trade ICT, normal price action, like a lot of people. But I just wanted to understand why certain levels worked, you know? That's why I made the transition. And, you know, from there, it's just been pretty smooth selling.
We, I don't know if you know, I host a podcast called Prop Firm Trader. And
I think I've seen it. I think I've seen the one with, it's a green channel, right?
Yes. Yeah. That's the one.
Yeah, I've seen it.
We've had, I think, only one order flow trader on there at the moment. But his episode, I actually don't think it's dropped yet. It's in the pipeline. His episode honestly blew my mind because it was the first time I'd sat down and chopped it up with someone that trades order flow. And he gave the exact same perspective, which is like understanding the order flow is what you see in the candles after the fact. And he was like, so it explains a lot of what you see. And I was like, it kind of makes a lot of sense. And we were talking about like the liquidity sweeps and you know, the types of candle formations and how you see that in terms of the order flow. And I was like, makes a whole bunch of sense. It was the first time that I'd ever been inclined to want to start dabbling into something different outside of price action. But yeah, it completely hit the nail on the head for me, man. It makes so much sense.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely should look into it. But if whatever you're doing right now works, then you don't have to, right?
Yeah.
It's just, you know, it is what it is. It just depends. It really depends. It's not for everyone.
You just got to find what works for you, right? That's probably the hardest part for most people, I think.
Yeah, you have to find a strategy that works based on your personality.
Yeah, 100%. I always say it's a mixture of personality and lifestyle. That's the people that most people tend to neglect. They focus so much on like what's the best and most profitable strategy, but they don't focus on does it suit your personality, does it align with your lifestyle? Because if it doesn't do any of those two, your consistency is going to suck anyway. So you got to get it all right. It's a trifecta that you think you need to have.
Lots of new
Bobby
traders.
says, if I travel there, can I stay with you? I'm not sure if he's talking about London or Bermuda.
No, I think he's definitely talking about.
Bobby, come through, man. First beer's on me. Let's do it.
There's tons of places to stay in London. I think he's talking about Bermuda.
Yeah, you know, so the only downside about Bermuda is honestly, it's fucking expensive, bro. And I say this coming from London, like it almost makes London feel like a playground.
In terms of what? Houses?
Everything. Everything is expensive, man. I give you an example. You buy a loaf of bread out here. Yeah. It's depending on the brand that you get, you're paying somewhere between $12 to $15 for a loaf of bread.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's bad.
But like a loaf of bread.
Yeah, it's bad.
Wait, bad. Why is that? Is it because of like imports?
It's a couple of things. So firstly, it's a tax haven. So there's no income tax here. So the government makes most of their money through customs and everything that's imported, which is exactly what you said. But the second side is because it's such a small island, they don't grow anything here. So everything is imported in. And then it comes with the custom fees attached. So everything just comes at a massive markup wherever you go. Like most places on average, it will vary obviously throughout the year, but most places like hotels, you're probably looking at least $1,000 a night for a standard sort of place. It's wild.
That's pretty expensive, yeah.
Yeah,
that's really that's not pretty. That's very expensive.
Yeah, it's bad. But then I feel like for what you get here, the quality of life is much better, which helps with everything else in life. So it's one of those things, man. I always say that I don't think there's a perfect anywhere. You just, you got to give and take with something. Same was in London. There was positives, there was negatives. You just got to decide the type of shit that you want to deal with on a day-to-day, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. I think the main thing for me is that, I grew up in London. Most of my family is here.
Yeah.
Family is a big thing. Like, that's also another reason why I don't want to move to Dubai or like a tax haven country place, in my opinion, because I see it as like giving up your family for more money. It's a bit. That's how I see it, but that's just for my personal reasons.
But no, so I'm exactly the same, right? All of my family, extended family, well, most of my extended family, all based in and around the UK, mostly in London. I've got some up in the Midlands. And that was our hardest point about deciding to leave. It was knowing that we're going to be so much further away from family, which obviously comes with its challenges and difficulties. But again, it's kind of one of those, you have to pick your heart, right? Everywhere is going to come with something. We said we'd try it, and we said worst case, if it doesn't work, we just go back home. That would be it.
So, that's true, yeah. You
very little downside. See where we go, man. Bobby says it's 35 in Southern California all year round. Yeah, that's I feel like mid-30s is almost too hot.
But I don't know if they're talking about Celsius or Fahrenheit.
Nah, see, Fahrenheit, I think that's quite cold.
It's like freezing.
Yeah. Because I'm sure 30 centigrade in Fahrenheit is like, I don't know, near 100, I want to say. Oh, no, nowhere near it. 86. 30 degrees Celsius is 86 Fahrenheit. So 35 Fahrenheit is, oh, bro, it's 1 degree. I'm pretty sure Bobby meant Celsius.
1 degrees in summer.
Yeah.
He's from Australia. I heard Sydney ranges from 55 to 80 Fahrenheit all year. Australia's far, man.
It is.
I'd love to go to Australia,
though. Sydney's quite nice. I've done a few weeks out there before.
When did you go?
2019, just before, like a year before COVID kicked in.
Yeah. I heard they have like different seasons there, right? Like right now it's summer, backwards. For them it's winter.
It's all backwards. It's so weird. Even the toilets spin the other way. It's wild. Sleeping Dolphin says the temperature matches my win rate, bro.
The temperature matches everyone's win rate at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, this range
says exactly Bermuda. It's expensive. That's the reason I want to crash at his place. Oh God.
What a session.
Yeah, this is looking like a real chop fest, man.
What a session, yeah.
I want to actually, I'm going to see if I can share a chart for a second. I'm not going to overthrow and dominate your stream.
Oh, just as you said that, I think something happened.
Hello. Anytime I see that, I'm like, is it Trump?
Literally, yeah, literally. That's the first thing I think as well.
I'm going to have a quick look. I can't see anything at the moment.
Let's see what we get here. We don't want to enter on this. Doesn't look too good.
You got an order in?
No, not yet. I'm just eyeing for it. Because mechanically speaking, this is in my setup. Like I did mention that if we come into the range low and you get absorption, which is exactly what you get here, with buying initiation stepping in, then it would be an entry.
Okay.
But because it happened within, whatever happened here, it doesn't seem like it will likely hold. Let me see. I'm just eyeing it out in a moment.
And what will you play for? Range highs? How do you exit your trades?
So when I'm trading prop firms, I tend to go for fixed low risk and reward. Most of the time it's going to be one. If I'm entering as well, which I tend to do on my personal account, then I would just exit at the range highs or the next internal level, right? So if you see my chart right now, right?
Yeah.
This is going to be an internal level because you have large aggressive buyers that didn't get rewarded. So passive sellers, in theory, are going to be protecting this level. So this is going to be your next level of resistance. So I would either take profit here or I would trail really aggressively as we approach that level. Most of the time, right, my risk to reward is pretty like 4 to 5 R minimum on personal, and then I'll just trail out for like average 2 to 3 R.
Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, chat is saying it's Trump.
Oh, Hieu stuff.
Yeah.
Just some Hieu.
Yeah, here we go. The USA has taken total control of the Strait of Hormuz. I think we will keep it. Of course you will. Bro, this guy.
Nothing new there. Nothing new there at all. Like, I'm pretty sure they took control of it since last year anyway. It's literally just the same thing being tweeted all the time.
Our naval blockade is being called by everyone a wall of steel. And there is nothing Iran can do about it. They have no navy, they have no air force, the remaining soldiers are unpaid. Bro. Their leadership is uncertain at best. They have no money. Their country is shot. All they have is fake news and 300% inflation, and it's getting worse. Yes, by the way, this is Trump. This is not my opinion. Before this gets clipped and circulated, I should probably give that context. That's crazy. Iran is all talk and no action. The bully of the Middle East no longer. Praise be to Allah. Bro, sorry. Please continue, man.
What was I saying? Oh, yeah. This is why I don't like to enter off of, even though mechanically this is a setup, I don't like to enter off of volatility candles, like Trump tweet candles, because it pretty much just shits the fan afterwards, right? There's no clear, in my opinion, there's no clear demand here. There's not really any real demand here. It's just unexpected news. So the setup is going to be pretty unexpected. That's why we started to range now, right? There's a pretty low probability when you enter off of those.
If it now came into the same range and lows and you saw that same absorption, would that be a valid setup for you now?
What would you mean? Which range lows?
So the same one where the same area that you were looking for action in the first place.
Yeah, this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would.
Okay, got you.
But now it would kind of shift, because instead of using this level now, it would go to this level, because that's where we had the absorption.
Okay, got you. So you're always looking at the real extremes.
Yeah, pretty much. It's the same with price action, right? There's a reason why it reacted off of those extremes. Passive players are going to be protecting that level.
Yeah.
If it comes into the original level I marked, which was here,
Yeah.
yes, we can get some sort of reaction because previously we had this absorption, but there's a very good chance that the market has more tendency to go to the extreme points. It's just common, right?
Yeah. But I guess you'll probably make those decisions based on the order flow that you're seeing at the time, right?
Yeah. Like if it comes back and there's nothing here, then I'm not going to enter. Like right now, there's nothing there.
Yeah, fair.
Just a lot of times when you're trading this stuff, you're going to get reactions with price action, and it's going to make you question it, right? Whether do you even need order flow and stuff like that. But that's the wrong way to think about it, because you always want to keep the variables consistent. So even if you get rejections, you're not entering off of every single rejection. You want to see order flow really confirm that rejection and keep it consistent, because that's how you can edge. That's how you're able to measure that variable.
100%. Sleeping Dolphin says, I watched the interview with Sanj and Kays. She's on her way. She got me looking at the 4-hour. Yeah, Kays is a legend. I had a good interview with her. She's doing very, very well. She's on a heater at the moment, I think. I was happy since I was in a sell at the time and I hit TP. Gotta love that.
Must be nice.
Yeah, I know, right? Soren, send us all $5. That would be great. Bobby says, I was 600 green, then 400 red, and now back to 550 green. I'm done. That big red candle didn't hold. Wahab says, come on, Sanj. From which country are Sanj? I love you so much. Bro, what's happening here? I'm getting hit on in the chat. I'm not used to this now.
Never seen that before.
Mario says Iran inflation rate is 87.9%. Apparently the US metric, that is 300%. That's Trump math for you right there. Literally. There's so many clips of him doing this.
He's inflating the inflation rate.
Yeah. Oh, the torture. Can SpaceX break that high? Let's have a look. Interesting. Who was that? Sleeping Dolphin, are you in SpaceX or are you just observing? Wahab says Sanjeev, but there we go. Thank you so much with getting Nav in the podcast. Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Nav, also a legend, amazing psychology coach he is. Usually it'll stay like that till lunch. Sleeping Dolphin says Sanj witch. I'm just being made into food now. I think I'm gonna have to turn my camera off for the rest of this stream.
Sandwich is a good one.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Can't even complain about that one.
Literally, I'm being called a snack. Like it's the biggest compliment I've ever had.
It stopped me out on that red candle and went up. Does this make sense? I mean, yeah, like it was just a range low, right? Passive protection levels, supply and demand, right? If there is a passive protection levels where you had previously aggressive sellers getting absorbed, that means at this level there was more supply than demand, right? There's more buy limits here, more passive buyers. So when you get this massive red candle into and breaking out of the low, it's going to come into a fat supply level. The question becomes whether the selling demand is able to overwhelm the passive buying supply. If it can't, then that's exactly what you get here, right? You get that move higher. I was trading on Biden's era, mate. Trading on Biden's era was literally beautiful. Like, honestly, I wish he came back. I honestly wish he came back. Trans market is a headache. Absolute headache.
I had the exact same experience the last time Trump was in power as well. So for context, my bread and butter is I'm a swing trader.
Yeah.
And Trump markets for me have been an absolute nightmare because my strategy, it relies on good trending markets. And when you've got a lot of short-term volatility swinging shit about, I get chopped up a lot, man.
You rely mostly...
Sorry, go on.
Do you rely a lot on like fundamentals as well? Or especially when you're high time frame, or not really?
They play a factor. I wouldn't say my fundamental is like the strongest outlook. Like my read on it is not that great because the thing that I sat on, and maybe I'm gonna have a better conversation with the market AI guys when they're on here with this. I always found like the fundamental aspect can be just as subjective as the technical aspect. Like what you interpret from the fundamentals can be completely different to what somebody else takes away from it. So it's all a game of interpretation. So I try and focus more so it's just a game of risk management. As long as my upside is potentially this, my downside is potentially this, and my edge tells me that I've got positive expectancy over time, I just take my shot, man, and we see what happens.
Definitely, yeah. I agree, 100%. Very subjective.
But I actually think that there is, again, maybe this is an opinion, but I think there's a greater edge to being a short-term trader in Trump markets. The ability to adapt to a lot of the changes in the market. It's like my time frame of operation is typically a daily chart, like in my bread and butter for what I do. And when I'm waiting for a daily candle close, so much can happen in that one day and it cannot give me the right read of the market. It's like I said, I found Trump markets very, very tricky.
What made you choose swing trading over like short-term trading?
The time that when I first started trading, I started off as trying to be an intraday trader. Yeah. And I just did everything wrong to begin with. And where I felt like I really struggled most was my psychology, which is why I ended up becoming a performance coach, speaking mainly about the psychology parts because it was my biggest hurdle. But where I found most peace and most consistency was the daily chart. So my biggest issue was like, I would always revenge trade. I would always overtrade. And a lot of that back then, I know this now with a little bit of hindsight, but a lot of that was just because I didn't have enough data on my system. I didn't know statistically what it was likely to play out like over time. And that because of that, I had very skewed expectations of the market. But the moment I went up to a higher time frame and I said, right, I'm only basically going to trade daily candles. If I got stopped out of a trade, I said, well, I can't do anything now until the next daily close. And by the time that happened, most of my emotions had gone. And so I ended up developing a lot more consistency just from that alone. But nowadays, it almost became a little bit of a necessity because in amongst running my coaching business, swing trading is the one thing that worked really, really well for me. It allows me time to kind of juggle everything. But that being said, I do really want to get back into intraday trading. I feel like I have a lot more knowledge, experience, much better headspace to give it a better go now. I think if I was ever going to do it, this would probably be my time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start dabbling a little bit on streams and stuff as well. I'm probably going to pick up my first challenge this week. I was waiting until post CPI to do so. And we'll see where it goes. We'll either be laughing or crying at some time in the future, and we'll see what happens.
Would you say like as a performance coach, delaying like how you made that switch to swing trading, and then it kind of like delayed the psychological aspect of it in the sense where instead of revenge trading straight away, you have to wait until the next day. Would you say that is easier to like apply than trying to suppress, like if I'm a scalper, is that easier than trying to suppress the psychology issues that happen after I take a scalping trade, for example, if that makes sense?
So my perspective on this is that when it comes to emotions, I don't think it's about suppression. I think it's about regulation. And I think where a lot of people tend to struggle, especially like when it comes to the lower time frames, is your ability to deal with uncertain or unexpected outcomes is all largely relevant to your ability in how quickly you can regulate something. So for some people, depending on your upbringing and your experiences and your belief systems, you might have no problems regulating emotions very, very quickly, which can make you very suitable to be a scalper. It's very possible to develop that skill set, but I think I was naturally brought up in a way where I naturally sucked at that. So it made it very, very difficult for me at the time. But for most human beings, we're not very good at making logical decisions in a short space of time. And so that aspect of having time between each of those decisions is very, very important. So the example I give people, for example, right? Let's say you trade NQ on a 1 minute chart. I'm just throwing out hypotheticals here, right? Let's say you trade NQ on a 1 minute chart. I trade NQ on an hourly chart, right? We both may come up with the same directional play in terms of a trade. But in between watching the charts in that same time window, in 1 hour that has played out, you've watched 60 candles and had to make potentially 60 decisions about what you want to do. I watch one 1 hour candle and I make one. In terms of your ability to make good decisions, the latter for most people is generally easier. Now, again, not saying you can't train it to become better at making or having better decisions in a shorter space of time, but in general, most human beings naturally suck at that. It triggers a fight or flight response. It spikes your cortisol. It puts you in a kind of a headspace, which makes it a lot more difficult to make logical and rational decisions. And this is why we tend to be emotional and impulsive. So I always like to say, like, I think suppression is the wrong word. I don't think it's about suppressing emotions. I think it's more about learning a good process of regulating them. And if you develop a good ability to do that, then I think regardless of what time frame you're on, you have an ability to be consistent.
Yeah, I mean, I agree fully.
Yeah, sorry, feel like I just gave you some life speech monologue.
No, it was really, I'm sure for a lot of people, like, you know, they don't realize that. You know, it takes them years of trading before they realize that you can't just. It's not as simple as just not revenge trading, like you mentioned earlier. Right? You're always going to have human emotions. You're always going to have psychological issues at play. It's just all about regulating.
100%.
Which 100%. But what would you say, like, let's say someone does scout and they see 60 candles. Do you have like an exercise on that where it doesn't really give you that decision fatigue? Or
So I would say the quickest thing that someone could implement that without getting too deep into this, and I think this is the quickest way to go about it, is I tend to focus a lot on breath. I think your breath is very connected to every state that we experience. So like for people in the chat, you could do this exercise live, right? If I asked you to think about someone that was angry, how would you picture they look like? What would their facial expression be? What would their rate of breathing be like? How would they speak? Now compare that to someone that is calm. What would that look like in your head? Your mind knows exactly what these things look like, even before you have to hear someone speak. And a lot of what that is rooted in is usually in the rate of our breath. And so when you're angry, excited, happy, sad, depressed, whatever emotional state you experience, it tends to be translated in our breath. Our mind perceives what our breath is experiencing and says, okay, we correlate that to a specific state. So the thing that I encourage most people to do, again, in that short window of time, is if you want to quickly change your emotional state, focus on changing your breath. There's a really powerful breathwork technique called box breathing. I don't know if you've ever heard of it or come across it before.
It was like 4 seconds, 4, 4, 4.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes. Yeah. So it's 4 stages. You take a breath in for the count of 4. You hold your breath for the count of 4. You breathe out for the count of 4, and then you hold on the exhale for the count of 4. And you do a few cycles of this. So a lot of people generally recommend something between like 15 to 20 cycles. It will take you maybe like 5-6 minutes to go through it. But it's a great way to bring the body and the mind back into an alignment. Because when you think about why we get frustrated in the short term, it's generally rooted in the idea that you are either too focused on the future or you're caught up in the past. Neither one of those perspectives are kind of helpful in your trading where you need to make decisions in the current moment in time. So when you do box breathing, it forces you to focus your breath on a more calm state, which your mind has a correlation to what that looks like. But also it forces your body and mind to act in alignment. And it's very hard to count your breaths and go through the exercise whilst also focusing on the future or reliving the past. And so it kind of forces you for a moment of time to be present. And it's a great way to reset. It's not miracle work, but I find it creates enough of a pause for you to be able to bring yourself back to the present and ask yourself, well, is this revenge trade that I'm thinking about taking actually the right step? Because if it's not, then I should probably step away. and actually, take a little bit of a longer breakaway and have that reset or whatever it is. And this was like stuff that I started unconsciously doing when I switched to a daily chart, right? I forced myself to have this time. I would have this reset moment, and it kind of worked in much of the same way. But for those of you that are scalpers that are watching this, box breathing, I think is usually like my go-to protocol that I give to most people to help them have that regulation in a very short space of time. Something to try out.
You would recommend this after like taking any trades, right? Like whether it's a loss or a winner.
I think at the start, yes. But I think once you get a little bit of experience, then you only really want to do it in situations that you know you're going to be triggered. Right. So if you know, for example, that I typically don't respond well to a loss or my second or third loss of the day, have that protocol ready and switch into it when you feel like you need it. But at the start, it could just be a good habit to get into to get you started with the practice.
I think a lot of people, when they take especially if they're taking a large number of trades in a really small amount of time, when they take losses, right, they tend to just blank out.
Yeah.
Fully. I know in my first 2 years of trading, I don't even think about a protocol. If I had a protocol to reset, I wouldn't even think about it. I would just stare at the chart and my mind would go blank trying to make it back.
Yeah.
So I think that's also another challenge as well, trying to actually do the protocol.
Well, so I think a big part of that is like we're trying to get in between trigger and automatic response, right? That's the kind of conversation that we're having here. And I think the thing that people have to realize is there are always signs that something is about to go wrong. Like anger and extreme frustration doesn't come out of nowhere. There are always signs and buildups that allow it to get there. And what a lot of people have to do is be able to map that pattern of behavior. Now, a lot of short-term traders, they struggle with this because they say, well, I'm busy. I'm taking 50 trades a minute, and therefore I don't have time to sit down and journal and write this down. And so, again, the advice that I give to those people is actually quite a good exercise, is to record yourself. So like exactly like we're doing on stream here, you put a camera on and you record yourself for the duration that you're doing this. And if you have those blow-up moments, watch the footage back. Because you will see it. You will start to see it in your body language. You can correlate that to things that have happened in the market, and it helps you to map out that behavior. And it can help you to start to become more proactive rather than reactive. The problem that most people have when it comes to like regulating or like suppressing emotions is they try and do it after their tipping point. And after you've reached your boiling point with an emotion, there's no going back. If you can recognize it earlier in the stages by identifying those triggers that get you to that point, then actually regulating it becomes far more possible. Because doing the breath work at like stage 1 of frustration is so much easier than trying to do it at stage 10. And most people only try at stage 10, which is where they tend to go wrong.
So it's mainly about prevention.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
I would say most of the work is done proactively. I probably spend like 80% of my time with clients working on like a proactive method to get them to regulate what they're experiencing. And then the 20% is for the fail-safe times where shit hits the fan, you're already at that boiling point. What can you do in that moment to try and preserve it and don't blow everything in that time? But like you said, ultimately we're human beings, right? We're going to have these screw up mistakes. It's just about making sure that they cost you as little as possible so you can live to fight another day. That's really the way I look at it. Bobby, I don't know if you're reading the same comment I
literally just go on to it.
What is it? The one from Bobby? My breath smells like coffee and morning breath, and I don't think it's the right time to be taking breaths.
I have genetic problem. That could be genetic.
Cortisol. I don't know. I'm not sure on. I use breath work to reset. Mohammed says, what does your order flow say right now about the movement?
My order flow says we are just raging. Like it's flat. It's fully flat. If you look at the cumulative volume delta at the bottom as well, it gives you a much clearer signal as well. This shows you aggressive, the cumulative delta between aggressive buyers and aggressive sellers. So when this is flat, there's no clear control, right? I always say this. Demand is what moves the market. When you have supply, when you have like, for example, in this example over here, where you have large supply protecting this level and any aggressive sellers get absorbed there, we don't actually get a reaction away or a rejection until the demand steps in the form of aggressive buying. So aggressive buyers, they've moved the market. If this is flat, then there's no clear direction. You're just going to consolidate. A lot of times, you also get flat price action, and cumulative volume delta is shifting in one direction, whether that's higher or lower. And that's where you could expect a breakout. But when this is flat and when this is flat, the best thing you can do is just sit on your hands.
100%. I think a lot of people, like, do you have tips that you give people on getting better at sitting on your hands? Because a lot of people think like if I'm not seeing anything that provides an opportunity, I have to create one. And it just forces them to get into trades.
I mean, from what I do, right, from specifically speaking about me, because obviously I'm not a psychological, I'm not a performance coach, right? I'm sure, because the way people don't sit on their hands because they want to make money. I think that's a mental issue, right? That's a psychological problem. They want to make money. They think by entering more trades, by always entering into positions, they are going to make more money than not entering into positions. But they fail to understand that the more trades you enter, the more positions you are in, the more exposed you are to risk. So that is what they don't understand. That is what their mental issue, their mental capacity is stopping them from understanding. But for me personally, what has helped from staying on my hands is having a good framework, right? When you have clear rules in your technical plan for when to not entertain the markets. Like, for example, the way I trade ranges, I trade balanced ranges. When I've identified the range high and the range low, anything in between is going to be low probability. It's very clear for me to just sit on my hands there. So that is one of two reasons, right? The first reason is that you don't have clear criteria for when to sit on your hands and stay out of the market, right? That's why you're constantly questioning whether I should enter into a trader. That's why you're questioning whether you should even be in this trade in the first place. And the second issue is obviously they think making more money is going to happen from taking more trades. So it's both technical and psychological.
I like that. I think that was spot on.
Don't.
I just like trading in slow motion like Sanj now. It's less stress.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like, I used to trade 1 hour, and I still swing trade right now. It's definitely less stressful.
Yeah. The thing is, I always say to people, there's no path of trading without pain. So like swing trading, of course, has its positives, but it also has its drawbacks. So like my data tells me over time, a normal period of drawdown for me is 1 to 3 months. That's how long I can be out of sync with the market. For a lot of people, not making money for longer than a day is like the most painful experience ever. So it's not suited for everyone. I think, like I said, you just got to decide which pain you're willing to accept and go from that.
There's no one size fits all, you know, like
100%.
Everyone is in a completely different situation in their life. Like me, I don't have a job. I don't have to worry about, fortunately, putting food on the table and stuff like that. But someone else might have a family, right? They might have kids to feed, stuff like that. So their hunger for making money is going to affect their trading. That's why the problems are going to be different for everyone, and the solution is going to be different for everyone. So it's like you said, right? You have to pick your pain.
100%. 100%. Don't record yourself with AI. It might try and blackmail you with those ugly morning photos. Mohammed says, I'm sitting on my hands right now. I think that's probably the best position, judging by the looks of the market.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of you guys should be more like Sanj, you know, being flat for the whole month.
Yeah.
Right, being flat for the whole month so far.
I mean, I just haven't really seen anything. Like I said, I would love to be in the market. I've got orders in. Yeah. I just haven't been tagged into anything. It's just one of those days, one of those months.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, when you're looking at the price action from from the first Tuesday of the month, right? Tuesday the 4th. After that, it's pretty much a shut fan. Nothing there.
100%. Right. I think we are probably wrapping up for the day, man.
Oh, it's already time.
Yeah. Time flies when you're having fun, Hieu.
Time flies when you want to cool with Sanjay.
Yes, apparently so. Oh man. Right. Chat. It's been great catching up. Apologies, it was a little bit short-lived for me today. I actually will be here for the full session tomorrow. I've had a conflict of coaching calls the last few days, but I will be here for the full session tomorrow. I'll be chopping it up with our host on the stream for the day. But shout out to Hieu, has kept you guys busy, delivered some incredible value, it sounds like. And I've enjoyed the conversation, man. Hopefully we get to do many more of these.
Yeah, me too. It was great. It was great speaking to you. Very insightful.
Always, man. It's been fun. It's been fun. Right. I think that's all from our side. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate everyone tuning in the chat, especially those regular attendees and everybody else that's tuned in on the one time only. It's been great speaking to every single one of you guys. Hieu, any final words? Anything you want to sign off with today?
Not much from me. You know, the market, you can't say much about the markets, but hopefully we get better days, right? And hopefully you guys found this video helpful, the stream helpful in terms of both psychological aspect from Sanj and also my technicals as well. Like always, right? Trade safe, especially in these market conditions.
100%. 100%. Beautiful words to wind things down on, man. Guys, have a great rest of the week. Well, I say that. I'll see you guys tomorrow, but trade safe for the rest of the day. We will see you guys in the next one. Take care.
Right. Amazing. Lovely meeting you, Sanj.
And you, man. It's been a pleasure.